Hello everyone, and today we will talk about the topic the nonsense and sense of performance cars as a daily. And those that know me know that I love performance cars, so this is from the enthusiast perspective. But also, of course, I try to put some sense into it as well. So first of all, a little bit of background. I had very lightweight type of performance cars. I also had very powerful performance cars. My last car was over 500 horsepower, which was Tesla Model S. And I've also driven GT3RS on the track for more than a day. So that was very pleasant as well. So I think I know a little bit of performance, and all my cars that I bought had at least performance in them, and most of them are in the hot hatch part of the spectrum. So I also try to be in the spectrum that you have performance but with sense, and also that you can have a practical benefit. A car that can be used in multiple ways. The most dedicated car that I had was a mid-engine 380 kilogram two-seater. So I also like that part, but I don't think that's the most practical car. It's the least practical car I owned as well. I also drive a motorcycle, a Kawasaki Ninja of 2020, I think, model year. So that gives you a little bit of background, and in my opinion, as a daily, performance is very nice because you can easily overtake. Also, you have a very safe car because you have very good brakes, and you can get out of harm's way in a fast way, and can also get away with higher speeds through the corners, which is a benefit also outside the track. But then I will also put the practical sense into it, especially in the Netherlands, where performance is so limited. Every car that you can buy can reach the legal limits that we have in the Netherlands. Perhaps a Twizy or something like that will have a bad day reaching those speeds, because perhaps they are limited at 80 kilometers an hour, but that's not a real car. From all the real cars, starting from the A segment, every car is able to reach 100 to 130 kilometers an hour, which are the top speeds that we currently have in the Netherlands. So if you just look at it in a very practical way, I don't think you need any performance. Every car will do to reach the speed at the legal limits. But why would you love to have performance, even in such a country as the Netherlands, which is quite burdened under rules and limitations, etc. In my opinion, there's also something like driving pleasure. And if you have a car that's capable of driving at higher speeds or accelerating harder than the others, that does not mean that you have to use it all the time, but you can, and that's a nice feeling to have, one. And sometimes you do have to use them, and three, you also have a lot higher limits. So the cornering speed that you can safely maneuver at is higher than a normal car. The braking distance that you need is shorter than a normal car, so you are able to get out of head-tail these collisions a lot easier, because you are able to brake faster, but also swirl around the object if needed. This can mean life and death in a situation where, for example, a pedestrian is just jumping in front of your car, but also will reduce damage to vehicles. And that's beneficial as well for you, because if you are able to do so, you can just prolong your journey and go to the destination that you want, instead of filling out paperwork, etc., and then paying a higher bill. So that being said, what's the ultimate performance in a country like the Netherlands? In my opinion, it's the hot hatch. And this might not come as a shock to you. So yes, the Tesla Model S was faster from A to B, especially if it's within its driving range, because electric cars quite hard to refill. It takes a lot more time than the average ICE car, internal combustion engine, so a non-electric car that you just fill up at the gas station. But it's so capable, it has so much traction. So all-wheel drive is a very good thing to have. Also, if the conditions are not so ideal, for example wet roads or a little bit slippery due to snow or ice. But in the Netherlands this is not a phenomenon that's that much. The snow and ice part, the wet part is. But also a front engine, front wheel drive car is excellent. Even a front engine rear wheel drive car is excellent. And why do I say that? Because you also have rear engine rear wheel drive or mid engine rear wheel drive type of cars. Because when the engine is sitting at the rear, or even worse at the mid, you will lose a lot of the potential to carry something. And I also want a car to be practical. This is a small car, this is Suzuki Swift Sport that I'm driving now, but it has seating arrangements for up to 5 people, which I think is excellent, really excellent. And many of the competition, for example the Mini, only has the Mini Cooper or Cooper has only have 2 seats in the back, which is a lot worse in my opinion. So this can carry up to 5 people, and you have a little bit of trunk in the back, and you can also fold down the rear seat, and then you have an excellent little bit station wagon type of hauling capacity, which I like a lot. Also because it's front engine front wheel drive, you have the shortest nose, so you have more interior space if you compare it to the external dimensions, so that's beneficial with parking and other things, and also lighter. The lighter the car is, the more nimble they are, and also better for gas mileage, and also for road taxes. This is a benefit. Sometimes 5 kilograms more or less can have a result on your yearly taxes for about 100 euro or more. So this is something to take into consideration, sometimes even more, that you have a difference of a few hundred euros by deciding to go for a lighter car or a heavier car. So there are many cars, and many cars are good. I don't think there's one car that's the only thing that's very excellent, but if you are able to get a front engine car which has very nice hot hatch potential, and is also as light as possible, and it fits your seating arrangement. If you only need 2 seats, it's different than when you're needing up to 5 seats. I have 2 children, so I need at least 4 seats, and now I can also carry one of their friends with me if needed, or for example your mother or your father or whatever. You have a little bit more flexibility because you have an additional spot to take people with you. That's it in its essence. And if you're able to get something like that without paying an enormous amount of money, I think you did a great job. And for me, this is now the Suzuki Swift Sport, and I will tell you why. So the Suzuki Swift Sport Hybrid in the Netherlands is the lightest hot hatch you can get with seating arrangement. It's the lightest hot hatch you can get, in my opinion, non-stop, because in my definition a hot hatch has disc brakes all around, and this is the only one that has it for this light weight. It also seats up to 5, whereas the Mini or the Abarth, which are a little bit comparable in size, seat only 4 maximum. So that's a benefit. And also you have a car with up to, so you have that, you have up to 6 years guarantee. Because of the hybrid system you pay not too much of BPM, and BPM in the Netherlands is a CO2 tax, so if you using more gas to get from A to B, you will pay a lot more at luxury tax BPM. And also because the lightweight, you have the benefit of little road tax, and also this is beneficial for the insurance that you need. So that's in 4 ways why I think the Suzuki Swift Sport is very good. The 5th way is the fun. This car is directed at fun, not so much as performance, but fun. Very light, very nimble, also quite compliant underpinning, so it's not that rock hard. You can even lower it and still have quite a good comfort in the car. So that's it. Found my car out. Have a great day.